So Victor Wembanyama, he's not got GOAT potential. Well, sorry, not that he's got GOAT potential. He's not in the GOAT conversation. But he might be in the greatest 21-year-olds of all time conversation. What this guy is doing is not human. We have never seen anything like Victor Wembanyama. And I get it. I understand. He's still 21 years old. So there is still that little bit of inconsistency. But he's still probably going to make the All-NBA first team in his second season and win Deep Boy. Victor Wembanyama today had like 31 and 5 blocks. He had 30 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 blocks on 62% from the field in Paris. The last time he played a game in Paris I was at it. Metropolitans 92 versus Monaco, and he was okay. Today, he was more than okay. Before we get on to that, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We're trying to hit 9,600 by the end of the day, and we are only 10 subscribers off. So we gotta look at some of the stuff Wemby was doing. So you can see here, number of games with 30 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 blocks. Or just 5 and 5. Tim Duncan in his career 4. Wemby through a season and a half 4. He ties Tim Duncan for the 5th most games in NBA history with that. He's 21. And like 3 straight defensive possessions. If you watch, blocks a shot. Sorry, I do have to keep pausing. And I can't make this a bigger screen because I'm currently using a laptop. And Rosen at 7'5", blocks a shot, gets the rebound, goes full court and throws an alley-oop. Then they come down the next possession. He gets switched onto a guard, forces like a hell no, and then blocks the shot again. The ball comes into his hands eventually. Like blocks a shot, they get it to him, and he's able to put a throw ahead pass to someone. The ball goes back to Victor Wembanyama, drives in, kicks it to Stephon Castle or Devin Vassell, I can't really see. They hit the 3. The next defensive possession, Victor Wembanyama gets a 3rd block in a row and trails down the floor, gets the ball high, fakes. They have to guard him from 30 feet. He's 7'5", he might be 7'6", 7'7" in NBA terms. They literally have to guard him at 30 feet. He's able to pump fake, drive in, kicks it out to someone cutting, who is then able to throw it high a lob for him. Like that is literally 3 offensive possessions and 3 defensive possessions in a row. Like there is no player in the history of basketball that can do what he's done. And I've always said this because he's not going to win the ring argument over Jordan. He's not going to win the ring argument over LeBron. There is a chance that Victor Wembanyama wins the obviously he was better than everybody else argument. Like, everyone can talk about legacy and everything. And like, if he keeps progressing and doesn't get injured, the argument winning by about year 5 will just be, just look at the guy. He is 7'5", is averaging 30 on near 50, 40, 90 splits, and is the best defensive player the game has ever seen. Obviously, he's the best player to ever play the sport of basketball. Like that's the way Victor's going to get in, because of the second apron and everything. The super teams are gone. The dynasty is gone. Like back in the day, the Bulls, when they would win a championship the next year, would be able to add a new piece who was like a borderline all-star player that would take like a big role cut to play a role. Whereas if you win a ring, you lose all your role players in today's day and age. Or you do a Celtics where, yeah, you have a bunch of like guys that you kept, but like you can't trade them for anything. You're stuck with that lineup. But this is what a 6'5" person. He's about 7'6". Like, it's scary. It's actually scary how good at basketball Victor Wembanyama is. He leads the leagues in blocks above 10 feet. Well, even Messi second, but like he's double 5th place. Goga Bitadze is up there, which is mad. Oh, this was my old viral tweet. I was just scrolling through Wembanyama. So basically, when Wembanyama 2K tweeted first Wembanyama in 2K24 and it got like 2,000 likes, I tweeted out first look at Wembanyama in 2K24, put up a picture of Chris London, and I had like 2.2 million views. Oh, I forgot that tweet. Just scrolling. But it's absurd. It's absolutely absurd what this man can do on the basketball court. And we've never seen anything like it, and we'll never see anything like it again. Like, I'm just saying, in today's NBA, Yao Ming is Zach Edey. So, like, even a Yao Ming, like, people are talking about how great Yao Ming was. If Yao Ming played in today's game, he'd be Zach Edey because he couldn't guard in space. Victor Wembanyama can guard in space better than so many. He's maybe one of the best bigs in the entire NBA at guarding in space. He is a 7'5" wing. If he develops a little bit of an inside game, just a little bit, like just that just kind of a turnaround mid-range jump shot, because he's not physically big enough to start banging inside like people want. So turnaround mid-range bang shot. And with that, Wembanyama becomes a 30-point per game, 50, 40, 90 guy. And we're near 50, 40, 90 guy at 7'6". Like, I'm sorry. Wembanyama is when back in the day, anyone who played 2K games before the My Player, or whether it be NBA Live, you would always just create players in a creative player, and you would make them the maximum height, but all the stats up to 99. That is literally what Wembanyama is. He's so broken, you can't even, people are like, oh, this guy's a video game character. You can't even make him in video games anymore. You actually cannot even make the guy in video games. And it's funny, like, he's done a Kevin Durant being like, let me be listed as 7'3", so that they don't like expect me to just be a center. Let me be listed at the same height as Kristaps Porzingis, even though I'm clearly taller than Zach Edey. We've stood beside each other. I'm about 1.5 inches taller than Zach Edey, who's 7'5". But let me just say I'm 2 inches shorter than him. Like, it's madness. It's madness. And like, look, I knew Wemby was going to be good. I did not think Wemby was going to be this good offensively, this quick. Because like, look, we knew, like, I called it last year, Wemby to be all defensive first team as a rookie. Heck, I called it when I was in France. I watched his last game in person, and I'm like, you don't realize how big he is till you're in person. Like, I walked down, it was in Roland Garros, and as close to the court as possible, because where I was sitting, I could just kind of walk down, so I got there early. I kind of walked down as close as I could just to gauge how tall he was. And I'm like, this man, like, if you stand beside Wemby or even at the same like level as Wemby height-wise, you look at Wemby and you're like, is this guy on stilts or something? And like, I've stood beside the likes of Giannis, Ben Simmons, and Embiid, and like, these guys are huge. But like, Wemby dwarfs those guys. And he's still getting better. He's still getting better. Like, I thought 2 years ago, when I saw him play 2023 for Mets 92, I'm like, I tweeted out at the time, Wemby's a top 5 defensive player in the world. And everyone killed me. And they were like, oh, wait till he gets the NBA. I'm like, no, he is, I was like, guaranteed all defensive first team as a rookie. And people were still doubting that. But man, he's going to win Depoy. And there's a very, very good chance that Victor Wembanyama is all NBA first team as a second year player. And if he keeps improving by year 5, he might just be so good that he enters the GOAT conversations with the obviously just look at what the dude's doing type argument. But anyway, I'll see you guys.